Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Wednesday, May 20th, 2020, and we again find ourselves in the final hour of the trading day. I mention this each day, but in my opinion, the best time to make your buying and selling decisions is at the end of the day, in the last hour, in particular in the last few minutes of the day. I say this because during the day traders and the algorithms, they are the ones that are in control of the price. They are the ones that are moving the price around. At the end of the day, you have the large financial institutions. They start waking up. They start making their decisions at the end of the day. They're dealing with the most money. They have very smart people, the best technology, best information, and they take control of the price away from the day traders and the algorithm. And I consider them smart money, so I like to piggyback my decisions based upon what they are doing. So that's just my preference, works out well for me. And anyway, thank you all for coming today. I appreciate it. It's always nice to see everyone. I think we have such a great group, such good input, and I really do look forward to this time of the day and starting up the live stream and checking out, see how everyone's doing. Thank you for investing your time here. I hope it's helping you with your trading and your investing. I hope you're getting a good return on your time investment by being here. So thank you very much. All right. Well, interesting day today. The Dow is now up 386 points, up 1.6%. NASDAQ is up 2% today. Up 185.83 points, and the S&P is up 50.21, up 1.72. So the clear winner today is the NASDAQ. So we've been up, and then we dipped down earlier in the day. We're back up. So anyway, great day all around. Let's take a look. Kamal is here. Hey, buddy. Good to chat with you earlier today on through Skype. Kamal and I, we chat and just kind of talk about different trades we're thinking about or doing intraday. Zach is here. Hello, Zach. Nice to see you, my friend. Appreciate you being here. Scatty13. Hello, Greg and all. Hey, Scatty. Nice to have you here. Bob is here. Hi, Bob. Good to see you. Frank is here. Hey, Frank. Always good to see Frank. David is here. Hey, David. Hope you're doing well in Colorado. Miko25. Hello, sir. How you doing? Hope you're having a nice day. And Dan is here. Hello, Greg and everybody. Well, hello, Dan. Nice to have you here. All right. Well. Here's the plan for today. As usual, first of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, what methodology I was using, what I was thinking, what strategy I was using when I'm going to buy them, and then most importantly, how I'm going to manage them going forward, either to the upside. Then some of you have been kind enough to share some of your trades with me. I see some really good trades up here today, so I'm excited to go over those, and we'll see how those are doing. After that, about the midpoint of the podcast, I do like to talk about trader philosophy, trading psychology, good trading words of wisdoms, maybe some tips on how to look at trades, how to think about trading. It's very important to learn how to trade correctly, good trading principles, support, resistance levels, indicators like MACD, RSI, ATR channels, moving averages, and you use all that to put together a good balanced trading plan of when you get in, when you get out. You have to have that. But the more important skill in trading is not learning how to trade and putting together a plan. It's not that difficult. What's difficult is how to manage your emotions, not let your emotions get amplified so that you break your plan. The only way you're going to make money trading is getting a good plan together, trading that plan the way you constructed it. But humans being humans, myself included, your emotions get revved up a little bit, either to the upside or the downside, and it may make you break your trading plan. You may get out early, you may get out too late, you may not take a trade because you got beat up from the last couple trades. So trading really is about keeping yourself in that Zen state, not too excited, not too depressed, something that's sustainable that you can do each day and just grind it out, and that's how you make money trading. So I like to touch on that. I think it's helpful for me to hear each day, and I think it would be helpful for everyone else to hear each day. And so that's why I do it. After that, we're going to go down through my watch list, each stock one by one. I have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a new trade. The first requirement is I want to look for a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up. You're going to put yourself in the best position to have a profitable trade if you're in the company with as many other buyers as possible. So how do you do that? Well, the way that I look at it is I look at each indicator or signal as a group of buyers. And if one group of buyers is good, then 2 or 3 or 4 groups of buyers is better. And that's why I look for a combination and confluence of those indicators lining up, or in other words, those groups of buyers lining up. So that's requirement number 1. Requirement number 2, have to make sure I have a good risk to reward ratio on any trade. I have to make sure I can make at least 2 times to the upside compared to what I am losing to the downside, 2 times or more based upon valid support below me and valid resistance above me, likely resistance. So that's step number 2. And step number 3, always keep in mind, do you have a lot of stocks that are in the same industry? Do you have too many stocks total, right? You want to be diversified in your stock holdings. You want to be diversified in your trading approaches. And one last one is account heat. I do not want to ever put more than 60% of what I have in capital at risk. I think it's just a good policy. So going to go down through the watch list, see if anything looks good. If it looks good upon first blush, I'm going to check it. And then at the end of the day, as we get closer to the close, I'm going to go down through those potential candidates. I'm going to go over them with the fine-tooth comb. Ideally, I'll just try to pick the best one of the day. And then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you need clarification, please let me know. Happy to clarify. If you'd like me to take a look at any stops, give you my humble opinion, I'm happy to do that as well. If you would like me to take a look at any stocks before the market closes, please put them in the chat, put a star by it or an emoji or something so that I know it's time sensitive, and I'll do my best to get to it before the market closes. Okay. And then after the market closes, if you have any updates for me as far as any new positions that you put on or any new positions that you took off, if you'd like me to update them on the board, please let me know. But if you could, wait till the end of the day after the market closes so the pressure's off, because this hour goes by really, really quick. So if you don't mind, just let me know after the market closes. So, all right. Well, that's the plan for today, everybody. So I'm going to run that U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right. Hey, Steve Burns is here. How you doing, buddy? Nice to have you here, Steve. Always an honor, always a privilege. I mean that sincerely. It's so great to have you in the chat and be able to ask you questions as well. I think it's just great. So appreciate you being here. Steve says, hi, Greg. Another great day for the bulls. Yes, it is. Amazing after yesterday's sell-off, right? It'll be interesting to see what happens today. Are we going to have a melt up at the close? Are we going to have a melt down? Hard to say, but yesterday was quite shocking, really. And then today, right back at it. So anyway, thanks for being here, Steve. Hey, Frank has a poem for us. Trade better by staying healthy. In so many ways, it makes you truly wealthy. Go to a gym or go for a swim, ride a bike or take a hike. Your stocks may even start to spike. Oh, that's great, Frank. Thank you, sir. Let me try that again. Trade better by staying healthy. In so many ways, it makes you truly wealthy. Go to a gym or go for a swim, ride a bike, or take a hike. Your stocks may even start to spike. That would be a good day, right? Hike and swim, have your stocks go up. That's what I call a good day. Thank you, Frank. Always appreciate that. The effort that you put into these. I just love them, and I'm sure everyone else does as well. MA is here. Hey, MA, good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Kamal, I closed my error trades, CDW, and Goldman Sachs this morning. I have an Etsy intraday trade on the 39-minute bar. Yep, Kamal and I were talking about that trade. Frank says, I did take GS for a trade at the close and sold it today at 189. You know, I almost took Goldman yesterday at the close. If you remember, I had my finger on the trigger, but we just never got the 520 EMA crossover. So Frank anticipated a little bit and it paid off for him. Sold it at the close. So fantastic. Okay. Frank's a good trader. I have got to say. He is a good trader. All right. Well, let's start going down through. We'll take a look at my current positions. I did have 3 day trades, by the way, today. 2 winners, 1 loser. I will show you that in just a few. So I did buy Alibaba back here on the 15th of May. I bought it when we had the 520 crossover. We also had the 1050 crossover. Don't see that a lot, but in this case it happened. So I bought it here at 203.96. Moved up beautifully right from the start, moved up yesterday nicely. I think I hit a couple profit targets yesterday. I did sell half of my position here yesterday because it rejected the third ATR channel. So whatever, I bought the full position here, scaled out. Whatever I had remaining here, I scaled out of half. And then today went up again, did hit one more profit target. I will be selling it today. Looks like it's going to close below the previous day's low. It did move more than 1 ATR for my entry, so I institute a trailing stop. But this has been a great trade. Alibaba just went crashing down. I think the Senate had a bill or something, technology with China, something like that, right? And then it just went down. It's like, what is happening? And I was glad that I sold the half a position yesterday, and I'm glad I hit that one profit target today. Took a few other chips off the table before this happened, but I'm glad it's off the low, but looks like I will be selling this today and just locking in profits. And Quad Racer also has this trade, and David also has this trade. So congratulations. This has been a pretty dang good trade for us for sure. What is this from entry to current price? 5.39%. That's good. Okay, SPY. World famous SPY trade. Go through this real quick. I did buy the SPY. I do buy the SPY every day at the close of the market. I hold it overnight. I take that overnight risk and I sell it first thing the next morning. This is based upon a back study from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest. 2 approaches they tested from 1993. First approach, buy the SPY at the open, hold through the day, sell at the close. If you use this approach every day since 1993, you'd have actually lost a negative 13.9% return. However, if you did the opposite, which is what I do, buy the SPY at the close, hold overnight, take that overnight risk, sell the first thing the next morning, positive 634.2%. So you can see a huge difference between the 2 approaches. Just because this approach has worked since 1992 does not mean it's going to work in the future. But if I'm going to allocate money towards something, I'm going to allocate it towards something that has a good back-tested results. Blue lines, buy in the morning, sell in the afternoon, or buy it in the afternoon, sell the next morning. Orange lines, buy in the morning, sell in the afternoon. You can see the blue line is the clear winner, but there are ups and downs. There's drawdowns over period of a year or more. So I just look at this as being a buy and hold investor of the SPY every day, but instead of during the day, in the nighttime. All right, so with that said, this one worked out pretty dang good today. I bought it yesterday at the close at 290, 291.97. I sold it today at 295.83. So 291.95 up to 295.83. Really nice, good trade there. And I'll be buying this again at the end of the day today. Okay, next trade, USO. I did buy USO. Fortunately, I bought it back here on the 14th of May. We were below the green -1 ATR channel. We came into the channel. We spiked down, went back up. In addition, we had this beautiful sideways motion. And then one day it tried to go down, false breakout, back up. I bought it here at 21.49, and it is just skyrocketed up. I did sell half of my position here yesterday when we rejected the third ATR channel. I didn't, I looked at this as a red flag, but today up another 4.91%. I did hit another profit target here at 24.95. So I sold half. My students will realize that I do like to sell half when I see a red flag, but selling half is one of the best things in trading because it's a win-win situation. If you sell half and it goes down, you're glad you sold half. If you sell half and it goes up, you're still glad you have half. So we are at a 48.59 RSI. So let me check and see if we rejected the 50 today. I don't think we did. 48.96. So no, I'm looking for a rejection of the 50 RSI or a close below the previous day's low. So this has been a monster trade. I mean, from entry up to current close right now, it's been an 18.51% trade. So I'm very grateful for that. I didn't get the whole 18% because I scale out, but if I think Kamal and MA also have this trade. So fantastic trade, guys. And then VIX, I had that great trade on VIX yesterday, and I had another 2 great trades on VIX today. Let me go back and see if I can find where I bought them. Here we were at the 1 ATR channel. We were moving sideways, moving sideways, moving sideways. Let me see if I can bring this into focus a little bit. We came back down to this low here. We poked our head down below and then right back up. So technically it's a V1, not a great one, but really why I bought it was because we had this previous low over here. We poked our head, went right back up, closed in the ATR channel, went sideways, didn't do much for a while, but then it took off nicely for me. So I got in here at 34.10 and I got out at 34.34 about half hour later when it rejected the 200-day moving average. Then it went up without me. But I was looking to buy the pullback, and I did buy the pullback right here at 34.41. When we came back, we held the 200-day, we held the 10 EMA. If we had a close below the 200, I would get out, and it immediately went shooting back up. It took out the previous high over here, and it also it went above the previous high of this bar, closed below, also closed below the third ATR channel. So I took profits there. So second trade was 34.41, and I got out at 34.79, and then it just went cranking up without me. But anyway, those been 3 really nice, great trades. Oh, and then I did have one trade on the SPY. This one was a losing trade, but not too bad. I did short here. You see this massive V1 we have to the downside, and we also rejected this previous high. I did short here at 296.41. It immediately went my way. I didn't take any profits though. I was waiting for a reversal signal, and it was here. So we had a V1 to the downside followed by a V2 to the upside. So I got in 296.41 and I had to cover at 296.43. So I only lost 2 cents on that trade. And that's the thing about trading. Big wins, small wins. Break-even trades, which that essentially was a break-even trade. Break-even trades are great. It's a sign of maturity in your trading if you can take a break-even trade. It's hard for some people to take break-even trades for some reason. But anyway, so that's all on the SPY. Now, let's take a look over at everybody else's. All right. Kamal with the monster of all monster trades. He did buy AGQ back. Well, he used the SLV silver ETF. He used the 520 crossover as entry. He got in here at 21.39. Now we are at 28.50. This is a monster trade, especially on a double leveraged ETF. And Kamal is up 33.99%, almost 34% on this in the last 2 weeks. So this has been a massive run for silver. Congratulations, Kamal. Kamal also bought Johnson & Johnson here at 147.20 with this sideways motion V1. Moved up nicely, reversed here. I think Kamal is going to be getting out today, but still looks like a profit. And this is the Kamal show. Look at this, everybody. Kamal has had a monster trade on this. Pull on Twitter, pull back into the value zone, sideways motion, took this V2 here, moved up initially, came down, tested his stop, not once, but 2 days in a row, but held, moved up, and a big climax bar today, right? This is up 7.8% just today. So far, Kamal is up 12.17 on Twitter. So he's probably looking for a 70 RSI. Chewy, Bing He did buy Chewy back here at 40.55. Initially moved up, but bucking the trend today and is down. It looks like it's still holding the halfway mark of the washout bar. So Bing He, if there's any changes here, let me know, but I'm glad that's off the lows for you. Disney, Steve and Karen and Dan have a great trade in Disney. They bought Disney yesterday on the 19th when you had a 10.50 EMA cross. They bought it at 114.57, up 4.32% today. Great trade, fantastic. If there's any changes with this, looks like I'm having a little issue with the 100-day moving average here. So congratulations, Steve, Karen, and Dan. CRM, this is Glenn. So Glenn, can't get that to go. Glenn bought this over here on May 7th, 166.75. Moved up nicely, came back down, had another nice move up today. Up 5 cents today, so close to break even. So nice trade there. XLU, Kamal and MA bought XLU back on the 14th with this beautiful bullish engulfing bar. V1 false breakout to the downside from this low. They bought it here at 55.57. Sideways the next day, up 3 days ago. So anyway, I think Kamal exited yesterday. I believe MA still has this. So congratulations. Pins, Nick bought 1850 calls on pins expiring on the 29th. So currently it's 1884, so he is in the money on his calls. Congratulations. Roku, Kamal and Quad Racer did buy Roku at 118 with this rejection of the 200 and this V2. Immediately went down today, gapped up, went back down. So it looks like slightly underwater on this trade. And then last two trades, Steve Byrne and Karen bought SSO, which is double leverage SPY. They bought it back on the 18th at 15.45 with the 10.50 EMA crossover. Yesterday it just went plunging down, but it's recovered nicely today, and they are slightly up on the trade. So yeah, by about 50 cents. So congratulations to Steve and Karen. And lastly is IWC, which is the iShares Russell Mid Cap. This is the Mid Cap Index. Same trade, bought the 10.50 EMA crossover. Steve bought it here at 79.45. Yesterday, immediately reversed, but again, another reversal back up today. So Steve's in at 79.45 and at 79. 93, so up about 20 cents on there. So all in all, pretty good trades for everybody. Yeah, it's fantastic. You know, one thing I want to mention, it's been a long time since the SPY has been up to the 200-day. Now, can it hold above the 200-day? You know, if you were mechanically trading the SPY with the 200-day moving average, this would technically be a legitimate entry if it closed above. If it rejects it, that's a bit of a bearish sign in my eyes. Right now, the 200-day was 297.16 and it's 296.91. So it definitely went above, and currently it is below. So we'll just have to watch that and see what happens. I'm not basing any trades off it or anything, but just as big picture market for the S&P, it would be better if we could close over the 200-day moving average. You know, I'm having a little issue with my oh, here we go. Okay. Had a little issue today with computers. Steve says, nice trade, Frank. I almost took that. Missed my signal, my pennies. Yep, me too. MA wants to look at pass. Oops. Whoa, that's a monster. Silver, that's a monster. I wouldn't be buying up here, but if I were in this, I would definitely be looking for a close below the previous day's low or close under 70 to lock in some profits. But man, Steve has just been on fire. Bing He says, hi Greg, got to cut loss for Chewy later. Okay, sounds good. Let me know. Confirm with me at the end of the day. Hi Karen, nice to see you. Good trades for Karen today. Appreciate you being here. Hey, Marco, good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for coming by. Always great to see you, and thank you for visiting from Slovenia. Glenn says, hey, Greg, SPY has been above 200 EMA all week. Which has been more important, 200 SMA or 200 EMA? You know, from my understanding, most of the large financial institutions key off the 200 SMA. But, you know, the number of days in your moving averages, whether it's EMA or SMA, I don't get too concerned about that. I just get concerned with respect whatever one you're using, whether it's the 200 EMA or the SMA. But in my understanding, the 200 SMA is the most watched moving average, especially by large financial institutions. Steve Burns, maybe if you're out there, if you had some comments on this, maybe you could let us know what your opinion is as far as what's more watched, the 200 SMA or the 200 EMA. All right, how are we doing on time? So currently now it's right at it, like exactly at it. All right. Okay. So listen, before we start going down through the watch list, before I start looking for potential new trades for this afternoon or at the close, I do like to spend a few minutes talk about trader psychology, trader philosophy, good trading words of wisdom. Like I mentioned before, it's important to learn how to trade, but it's more important to be able to follow your plan. That's the most important part of trading. And so there's some really good Facebook and Twitter channels out there that spend a lot of time and energy and effort putting out these good sayings for us, and they're priceless. They really are. If you just read them, think about them, and internalize them, these are great words of wisdom. So this is from Trading Composure. I quote from Trading Composure a lot. It's just a great website or a great channel on Twitter at Trading Composure. If you haven't been there, you really should. just great stuff. I pull from it all the time. So thank you, Trading Composure, for posting these and letting me discuss these. But a trader's greatest enemy will always be him or herself, right? That's what I was just talking about. That's why curbing the tendency to self-sabotage is not a one-time job. It's an ongoing one. And boy, is this true. You always have to be on guard and protect from yourself. You are the one that will cause you not to be a profitable trader. No one else. It's you. You have to protect against yourself and your emotions. You know, I talk about this almost every day in one form or another, but I've been there. I've gone through it. I know from experience, from the wars that I have been through. Just make it easy on yourself. Get yourself a plan. Decide where's a valid support. Decide where's valid resistance. Identify the risk. Position size correctly. Put your trade on, right? Something's going to happen. Like Mark Douglas says, you're going to pull that handle on a slot machine. Something's going to happen. You have no control over it. It's going to go up or it's going to go down, but you have no control over it. But what you do have control over is how many shares you buy and what your trading plan is, right? So again, a trader's greatest enemy will always be him or herself. That's why curbing the tendency to self-sabotage is not a one-time job. It's an ongoing one. And along those same lines, I saw a post from a friend of mine on Facebook. Her name is Jenny Lieberger, nicest lady in the world. This has nothing to do with trading, but it does. Small compromises can lead to devastating falls. Right? Whether that's in life or in trading. But if you start compromising your trading principles, if you start getting loosey-goosey with your entries and your exits, it can lead to some devastating results. So anyway, I wanted to throw this here as a little bonus. But thank you, Jenny. And thank you, Trading Composure. And again, it's at Trading Composure on Twitter. So I hope you enjoyed that and it was helpful. Steve says, both the 200-day SMA and 200 EMA are robust for signaling profitable trends. Like Greg said, the SMA is more watched and has also outperformed EMA by 25% since 2000 as a mechanical signal. Oh, great to know. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's really, really good to know. But like Steve says, they're both robust, right? They're both profitable. I guess just in back testing, the SMA has outperformed the EMA, but you know, whether you're using the 200 EMA or 200 SMA or the 229 or the 262, you know, just key off that thing. Be in above, get out below. All right, let me just take a quick look at current positions before we look at other ones. So glad to see Alibaba has come back here. It may not close under yesterday's low. So this may be a keeper. I don't know. I'll just have to wait till the end of the day. The SPY currently under the 200. So we'll have to see how that works. Oil just kicking butt. If I don't say so myself, like to hit that second profit target up there. It's getting close, but again, I'm looking for a rejection of the 50 RSI. You know, if I trade from under the 30, if I get up to the 50 and it rejects, that's my signal to get out. If I'm above the 50 and it hits the 70, that's my signal to get out. So we are getting very close up there. So again, if we reject the 50, I'll get out, or if we have a close below the previous day's low, I'll get out. And that's it. So the VIX was the day trade. Let's take a quick look over here for Kamal on AGQ, up 1.71%, still holding the 70. Kamal with Johnson & Johnson, looks like he's getting out. Twitter, monster trade of the day for Kamal. What a beautiful bar, Kamal. Fantastic. Chewy, ooh, making a little bit of a comeback here. Glad to see that for being he. Disney, monster for Steve, Karen, and Dan, up 4.66. Glenn, up a little bit today, but nicely on the trade. Again, Nick in the money on his calls. Roku, looks like it may hang over the 100 there. for Kamal and Quad Racer. Steve and Karen doing very well with the SSO, the double leverage SPY, up 3.36%. And Steve doing very nicely with the IWC as well. So nice day today. Nice profitable run lately. I'll tell you what, I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for that always. All right, well, let's get to it. Take a look, see what's happening. Apple up nicely today. Does have the third ATR channel above it, which is acting as, will most likely act as some resistance. We're at a 66.9 RSI, so we're getting close to a confluence of a 70 RSI and the third ATR channel. So I definitely would not be buying up in this range. Doesn't mean it can't go up, it can. But just in general, I want to wait for a pullback. I need a pullback into the value zone in order for me to get interested in this. Adobe, wow, is that strong? Poked its head right back into the value zone. I'm telling you, in the value zone is my preferred place to buy, and preferred place to sell is right about where we are here. So I would wait for a pullback into the value zone before I got interested. Amazon, big strong day today, up 2%. What a monster. Broke out, I believe, to all-time highs. Yeah, fantastic. Almost 2,500. That thing's probably going to go to 3,000. Who knows, right? Amazing, amazing. But for me to get interested, pull back into the value zone. Boeing, having a nice day. Doesn't look like it's up much, but it is up 2.4%. Having some issues here with this downward sloping 50-day moving average. You know, I always talk about buying higher lows. People that bought down here, they've had a great trade, but they're probably going to be looking for a reason to get out. And once it goes back down, if it does start going down, the people that bought here will most likely sell there. That will accelerate the selling down. Then I would look for a higher low V1 or V2 for a next leg up. So nothing there. Alibaba, looks like I might be able to keep that one today. We'll see. Berkshire Hathaway up nicely, up 2.25%. I was really waiting to buy this. I never just got a legitimate signal, but that's how it goes. Beyond Meat up 3% today. Just kind of sideways motion here over the last week. Caterpillar off of its highs today. I don't see any signal there. Carnival about break even today. I don't see any signal here as well. Dow Jones up nicely, but waiting for a pullback into value. Walt Disney, we talked about that for Steve, Karen, and Dan. Fantastic, beautiful trade, everyone. I like taking these crossovers on a down day. If I have to take a crossover after 2 or 3 days up, it concerns me. I didn't take this one yesterday because the price closed above the second ATR channel, and that concerned me a little. That's just the filter that I have. Sometimes it's a great call, other times it's not a great call, and in this particular case, it did not allow me to take the trade, and that's how it goes. But Steve and Karen and Dan did take it, so fantastic. Very strong, closing above the third ATR channel. Etsy, so Etsy's at 75.01. So I'm interested in Etsy, not right this second, but I am interested in Etsy because we're above the 1 ATR channel. Don't want to buy up here, but we have poked our head down and down again into the value zone. If I could just get some sideways motion here, the longer the better, but at least a couple days, and then a V1 or a V2, I would take it back up and maybe go visit old highs. Who knows? Facebook's having a monster day, up over 6% here, just too high for me to buy. Look at this volume today, unbelievable. Gold, just kind of, it's up a bit today, but just sideways motion. I would look for return to value, sideways motion, V1, V2, or the 5 crossing under the 20 and back over. That would be a new reset for me. MACD did go positive a few days ago, though. Google having a big day, up 2.5%, but just looking for a pullback. Goldman Sachs did trigger the 520 crossover, so very likely I will be taking this today. I'm glad that it is in the value zone. I love taking crossovers. The best crossover trades I've ever had, well, honestly, almost all the best ones I've ever had happens in the value zone. So I'll be watching that at the end of the day. Home Depot was down quite a bit earlier. Now it's up 18 cents, so nothing there. IBB up a little bit today, waiting for a pullback. Intel, what a monster on Intel. My goodness. Let me take a look over here. Nothing on Intel for me though. Russell 2000 having a pretty good day today. Although, oh yeah, no. Johnson & Johnson still down. I believe Kamal's going to be exiting that. CarMax down a bit today. I don't see anything there. Coca-Cola, nice big strong day. We made a low. We came back up. We had a little bit of a sell-off today and right back up to the races. So who knows? Maybe we'll be moving on up on Coke, but I don't see a legitimate entry there. Lockheed Martin not having a good day today. It's down. MasterCard, very, very strong. Looks like we're above the third ATR channel. In order for me to get interested in MasterCard, pull back into the value zone is one possibility. A bounce or rejection at the 200-day would also be another possibility, or a 5 EMA crossing back under the 20 and back over would also be another legitimate entry. McDonald's, 520 crossover. I'm not sure. I don't think this back tests well though. But it is a good sign nonetheless to have a crossover. Merck is down today. Merck's had a tough time of it lately. Microsoft is up today, but doesn't look like a ton. Looks like ex-dividend today. Sideways motion here. Netflix down a bit today. Look for a pullback into the value zone. Nike up a bit off of its highs. Philip Morris up nicely today, up 2.5%. What I like about Philip Morris here is the close over the 10-day. You see how long it's been since we've closed over the 10-day? Man, this happened all the way back in April 29th. We've just been under. Today looks like a close over the 10-day. Not enough for me to take it, but it's a good sign, and it's closing back up into the value zone. So I would like to see this move up and then have a bit of a pullback and grab that higher low V1 or V2. PayPal, very, very strong. Need a pullback. Q's exceptionally strong. 6591 RSI getting close to the third ATR channel. So, you know, some confluences of resistance up here. So, you know me, I have to wait for a pullback. Silver up nicely for Kamal. S&P, it is over the 200-day now by 3 cents. So that's where the battle is going on between buyers and sellers right now. So I will be buying this again at the close, selling it at the open. Teladoc was above the 1 ATR channel in the value zone, starting to get some sideways motion here. So, you know, it's kind of piquing my interest. I look for a V1 or a V2. Bonds rallied a little bit. Seems like this level right down here is where the support is, but I don't see any entries today. Tesla, not it's up a little bit, but nothing there. Twitter, Kamal, man. This thing goes up 1% every 5 minutes. Fantastic, Kamal. Proud of you, my friend. Up 8.2% today. Holy smokes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. United up. Boy, look at that. Doesn't look like almost 5%, does it? But it is. But I don't see anything there. Natural gas. Nope. United Health Group. No. Oil I have up 5% today. Come on, get up there, hit that second profit target. I added the dollar index here. There's been a lot of discussion, a lot of talk about the dollar. Looks like it's gotten weaker. Nice confluence here of the 200-day and the 100-day. So I'll be kind of checking that out to see if we could get some kind of bounce. And at the same time, if it got down here to the 200 and the 100, it would also have the support of this previous low, which might be an interesting spot to take a look. VIX had all those good VIX trades today, but I don't see anything there now. Verizon, a little bit weak today. Walgreens, boy, look at this sideways motion. Look at this little wedge that's forming here, right? People who draw wedges, pennants, all this kind of stuff, what they look for is they look for prices to narrow, and then they'll either go long or short depending on how it breaks out of here. But this is again just back to sideways motion. Sideways motion leads to big moves. Look at the sideways motion here. Big move, big move, big move. Big move, big move. Now we're back to sideways motion. Always remember that small bars lead to big bars. Big bars lead back to small bars. How's Walmart doing today? Well, I had that shellacking yesterday. Frank was smart enough to get out right at the open for a beautiful trade after earnings, but this is a big monster bar down. Up a little bit today, but when you're up against this large of a bar, this just means there was a lot of selling. So it's hard to get back. You know, it's not that it can't happen, but it is difficult to go up to the upside when you're up against a big bar like this. That's why on V1s and V2s, I don't like to take V1s, V2s if the day one bar is larger than one ATR, and this is like 3 ATRs. Energy up nicely today. We are starting to work on a double top with the bearish divergence. Look at the top here. See how high the MACD bars are? We pulled back into the value zone. We got a little red. Well, now we're back up at the highs, very close to it. And you see how low the MACD bars are? So even though the price is equal, the slope of the MACD bars on a trend line are down. So that's a bit of a bearish signal. Financials, I don't see anything there. How's real estate doing today? Again, sideways motion, so not much of a move. This will probably move one way strong or the other. Utilities, MA has utilities up slightly today. Healthcare, don't see anything there, but it is hanging in the value zone. And Zoom is up a bit, but that's about it. Pinsey and Company says Cat triggered a 520 crossover. Okay, well, let's take a look. I'm not sure how Caterpillar backtests on the 520 crossover, so let me do a quick check over here and see. By the way, I do have permission from ETF Replay to share this. So just want everybody to understand that I do. Oh yeah, I was wrong. It does backtest pretty nicely, Caterpillar 520 crossover, doesn't it? I mean, buy and hold had about twice the return, but that's still a nice return, but it did have half the drawdown. So that does backtest pretty well. So that is interesting. Let me mark that. You know, I said earlier, one of my 3 requirements is I have to look at my portfolio and see what I have and factor that into taking a new trade. So Alibaba, looks like I might be able to keep it. SPY, of course, oh, it's come down now. So I will be buying the SPY. Oil is doing fine, and I don't have VIX anymore. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at the two potentials for me today, which would be Caterpillar does have a crossover off of its highs. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly does have the 200-day moving average right above it on the weekly. How high is that up? So that's about 3 points up. On the bright side, we had a V2 here, but not a valid V2 because we have a gap between day 2 and day 3. It's off of its high. Let's look at Goldman Sachs. Well, Goldman Sachs looks even worse here, doesn't it? Let's look at the weekly. I do like the weekly better because we have more room to the upside. So with that being said, look, it does look like Caterpillar is does backtest well. Yeah, that's a tough one. Let's see if I can look at it a little bit. Sorry, I'm using my old brain to factor all this. I have to say Caterpillar looks stronger than Goldman Sachs to me. Definitely, just from the price action. So it looks like I was going to buy Goldman Sachs, but I don't think I'm going to. So I'm going to redo numbers. All right, I do like Caterpillar better. There is no doubt about it. Just because of the closing of Goldman Sachs. See the bearish kangaroo tail we have here and the rejection of that previous high, where Caterpillar is above the 1 ATR channel, which is still valid for me to take, but the price action is definitely better on Caterpillar. So I'm going to buy Caterpillar. Thanks, Bincy. Appreciate that. He says, Greg, for MA crossovers, does it work on any stock if it backtests well, or do we have to go for those popular large cap stocks? Well, basically, whatever if it backtests well, then it backtests well. I think that's the way to look at it. But I always think the big large cap stocks are the better ones to go. But if you backtest a smaller stock, like on ETF Replay, and it backtests well, then it backtests well. Triple M2 520 crossover with the bearish bar today. Kamal says Goldman Sachs tests better than CAT on the 520 crossover. Oh, just comparatively, yeah. Well, it's hard to know. I'm not going to take them both, but I do like Caterpillar's strength today and the bar better than I like Goldman Sachs. We're actually right now we are closing below the open, which it's holding the 50, which is positive. So anyway, I am going to go with Caterpillar, but who knows? Goldman Sachs might be the real winner. Chris Sharp says CAT is still short. It's still short. How do you mean, Chris? And thanks for coming by, Chris. Appreciate it. He says, I don't have EMA 520 for CAT. I have SMA though. Well, here it is. Here's the 520 for CAT. And you can see it does backtest pretty well. Let's try the the simple and see what the difference is there. Big difference. Look, using the simple moving average, only 91%. Using the EMA, $449. Okay, we have 5 minutes. I better get to work. Steve's long, Goldman Sachs 180 on the 520 EMA crossover. Okay. Well, in the spirit of diversity, I am going to buy Caterpillar, and hopefully between the two of us, we'll both win. Right? We'll see. Let's see. Do I need to change anything up here on Alibaba? No. It held the low of the previous day. Boy, what a huge comeback. That's nice. SPY currently is under the 200-day, so it currently is a rejection, and USO is still fine. So I'm going to buy the SPY, overnight SPY trade, and I am also going to buy Caterpillar. Take a look-see over here. Bing He says, I mean, cat chart do not have EMA 520 crossover for trading view. Oh, okay. Well, you can see here on my charts, right? It may be that you're not adjusting for dividends on your chart. Maybe that's why you don't have the 520 cross. Not sure. Glenn says, cat has strong resistance at 135. Well, it has a ways to get up to 135, right? So that does give a good risk to reward. Who knows? We'll see. Again, doesn't mean anything. It just means I don't like today's close on Goldman Sachs as much as I like cat. All right. What are we doing intraday on SPY? Ooh, big down bar there. Come on, stay down there until I buy my S&P, would you? All right, I'm going to go ahead and buy cat. Okay. So that's taken care of. Alibaba may literally go positive on the day. That would be something after a 5-point loss earlier. S&P trying to close above that 217.17 or 297.17, excuse me. Oh, 115. Well, we'll see. You know, I try to be a little more forgiving when I take crossovers than if I just took a regular directional trade. You know, I mean, I could see us coming up to, you know, challenge this high over here. We'll see. But again, you know, the close is over the open. It's closed over the 1 ATR channel, which in a way is strong, right? It's stronger where Goldman Sachs is well off of its high today. And you have resistance over here. But all right, what do we have? About 20 seconds left. I'm watching that SPY to see if it closes over 297.17. It's trying, failing, trying, and it did not. Okay. So let me take a look here, see where I got everything. SPY at 296.93 and Caterpillar at 115.65. All right, so the new entry for SPY is at 296.93. Okay. Man, that was a sweet overnight SPY trade. I did not see that coming. I didn't even want to buy that yesterday, if you remember, with the close we had. But one thing I've learned about the overnight SPY trade, you just don't know. Let me expound upon that. We don't know about any trade. But for some reason, with other trades, I kind of feel like I have an idea what it's going to do. On the SPY trade, I'm just like, who knows what it's going to do? But honestly, all trades are like that. And then Caterpillar, I bought at 115.65. Oakley dokley. There we go with the 520 crossover. So listen, if you have any changes, any updates to the board, please let me know. If you want to take something off or if you want to put something on, make sure we have everybody's correct positions. Before I do, I'm just going to quickly put in my little daily plug and let everybody know that I do offer private one-on-one coaching and teaching lessons in the evening time via Skype. I have a course. It's 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours of one-on-one long-form training and teaching. I've traded for 24 years. I've had just some wonderful coaches and mentors and teachers in my career that I've worked one-on-one with, like Stephen Burns, who's in the chat here with us today. Just such a great guy and such a great trader and author. Dr. Alexander Elder, learned a lot from Dr. Elder. Carrie Lavorne, learned all my V1s, V2s, return to values, all that kind of stuff from Carrie. And then Larry Williams as well. So in the course, I teach you everything. And from my experience of trading for 24 years, I teach you everything I've learned from the 4 teachers that I just mentioned. And it's a really good course. You know, it's intense. You know, come ready to answer a lot of questions. I teach the first part of each session. I have you teach it back to me. I have you break down charts. We go through a lot of simulations. We go through a lot of charts. You know, I say, what's going on with this chart? Is it a buy? Is it? What methodology are we using here? What would possibly be our next trade? Where's the support, resistance? Where's our entries, exits, stop losses, emergency stops, intraday stops, ultimate profit targets? All this kind of stuff is what I teach. And you know, I decided when I started teaching, I didn't want to do necessarily a course. I wanted to do one-on-one because that's the way I learn the best. And I guess assume that everyone else will learn the best. But I really think it's true that when you can work one-on-one and you're not rushed and you have 3 hours for each session, you really learn a lot. I'm teaching tonight, always looking forward to that. Quad Racer is my student tonight. So I love to teach. I always look forward to lessons. So if you're interested, please let me know. You can reach out to me. Email is in the description here. You can reach out to me on Twitter, send me a message. But you know, before I take on a new student, I like to have a Skype call with them. It's just a get to know you Skype call. It's free. There's no pressure from me. I promise you it is not a sales call. It's just I want to see if we're a good fit for each other. I want to learn more about you. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. I want to learn more about you, your trading history, your challenges, your goals, and then it's a great time for you to ask me questions about the course. And again, it's not a sales call. I promise you that. There's absolutely no pressure. It's just to see if we're a good fit. So if you're interested, reach out to me. It would be nice to meet you, put a face with the name on Skype. And then also, if you like today's podcast, or live stream, whatever we're calling it these days, please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. It really does help the channel. So if you could just hit that before you click out of here, I would certainly appreciate it. Okay, now with that being said, let's take a look and make sure that we have everybody's positions on board here. All right, so I'm going to start at the top. Steve bought Goldman Sachs at 180.56. All right, let me go down through here, see if anybody else is in there. Kamal is also in. Man, Kamal, I'm so proud of you, buddy. I am so proud of you with that Twitter trade. Did I mention Kamal is a former student of mine? Anyway, okay. I'm not going to put the different prices in there, Kamal, because it'll be confusing. So, but we know you're in there on today. Cat hat, 200 moving average was sold into the close. Yes, that's what I was talking about. Being he is also in Goldman Sachs. All right, hope that's a good trade for you, Being he. You're in good company with Steve and Kamal, I can tell you that. All right. Pinsey & Co. is in Caterpillar. I think that's the first time Pinsey's been on the board. All right. Kamal sold Johnson & Johnson. I figured, that didn't have a very good close, did it? Okay. Dan says, I scaled out of Disney. Grateful overnight mouse trade. So you're out, Dan? You're totally out of Disney? Being he says, Goldman Sachs trade works better for me, else I lose confidence in crossover. Just joking. Kamal says, oh, Greg is the best teacher. My trading has completely turned around after I took his course and listened to Mark Douglas on YouTube. Oh, thank you, Kamal. I appreciate that. That was an honor to work with Kamal. It really was. And, you know, become a good friend as well, which is also a nice benefit. Glenn says, Etsy showing 3 red crows. Is that 3 days down in a row? 3 soldiers, I think, is what they also call them, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know all the names of all the candle charts, but I believe 3 in a row is called 3 soldiers, or maybe also 3 red crows. Interesting. Okay. So Kamal's in Goldman Sachs. Steve's in Goldman Sachs. Zach says, hello, Greg and friends. I had to tune in last night at 10 to catch up. So glad I am catching you live today. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate you making the extra effort and staying up late. It's good to see you, my friend. All right. Wiener Dog. Okay, so Karen is in Goldman Sachs and Cat. All right, so Karen's there. And also Karen is over here. Okay. Kamal sold Johnson & Johnson. Dan scaled out of his Disney. Okay, yes, all out. Thanks to Steve. Fantastic. Yeah, that's a legitimate crossover. 1050 is a legitimate crossover. So, all right, Stan's out of there. Steve and Karen are still in, I assume. David's in Caterpillar as well. How are things going with you, Dave? How are things out in Colorado? Nice trade, Dan, on Disney. Very, very nice. I mean, that's a monster. That was up 4.88% today. I mean, that's a monster. I'm really glad that it closed above the third ATR channel and the 100 as well. Let's look at Disney over on the week. Well, it busted right strongly above that 200, which is nice. You know, we tried to get up, couldn't get above it, couldn't get above it, couldn't get above it, and then bam, we're over it. At the same time, we have the MACD crossover on the weekly, so good. And it closed above the third ATR channel. That is very good. Wow, fantastic day today. I guess that goes without saying, but I'll tell you what, I am super glad that Baba came back. I mean, that was horrible earlier after such a good trade, but it did rally back up, closed above that yesterday's close, held above there. So this has been a great trade. Some great trades lately from everybody, really great trades. Specifically Kamal with the monster silver, with the monster Twitter, and monster oil as well. And I'll tell you what, the SPY trades have been really great lately, the overnight SPY. Look at this monster. This was one of my biggest ones ever, and then followed by today, which was fantastic. But you know how it goes with the SPY, man. That thing's streaky. March and April, I thought the SPY was going to implode and go to zero. I mean, it was loss after loss after loss every single night. Well, you saw. You saw. Great weather here. Oh, good. You know, I had a hailstorm earlier. I was speaking with, chatting with Kamal, and I said, man, the hail is coming down so loud. I said, I don't even know if I'm even going to be able to do the podcast. It would have been super loud, trust me. Ba-ba-bum-ba-bum. All right. Well, does anybody have any other updates or any other questions, anything I can help with? If so, please let me know. That's why I'm here. Tell you what, was really pleased with my last 3 VIX trades. You know, I hadn't even really looked at the VIX for a while until my buddy, Dr. Jorgensen, said, hey, what's going on with VIX? Why don't we have any VIX? And so that's what got me looking at it. And I saw that trade yesterday, intraday, and that one was monster. And then followed by 2 nice ones today. So, you know, it's always nice to have those day trades, you know, add a little bit to the P&L every day. They're not huge moves. They're 40 cents here, 30 cents here, but they certainly add up. Dan says, I also noticed change money flow was trending up and it's basically holding the gap up. Oh, interesting. Hey, Quad, good to see you. Looking forward to our lesson tonight. Lesson number 4 of 5. And Quad is sharp. So looking forward to that. Tonight we're going to talk about scaling out and the formula that I use to scale out. The further you are away from your profit target, the fewer amount of shares you sell. As the closer you get to your profit target, the more amount of shares I sell. Like, I'll give you an example. On Alibaba, you know, I bought here, and as it moved up, I took off profits, 2 or 3 profits, right? Maybe 5, 6, 7%. As we get closer and closer to my ultimate profit target, which is the 6th ATR channel up here, The formula that I use gets you out of a greater percentage shares as you get closer to your profit target and still gets you out of shares, but fewer shares when you're further away. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Chalk and money flow. Interesting. I do have to point out, I was looking at the put-call ratio the other day, and it is pretty low at the moment, meaning almost everyone is buying calls, not puts. But many of you may know that that's a counter indicator, meaning that when the put-to-call ratio gets really, really low, meaning everyone's buying calls, it seems bullish, but it's bearish. And when the put-call ratio gets really, really high, meaning people are bidding up puts and more people are on the put side, ironically, that's bullish. So right now it's theoretically bearish. Doesn't mean we're going to go crashing down, but it is, something to keep in mind. Alrighty. Quad says, thank you. Looking forward to it. I am as well, bud. All right. All right, everybody. Well, I guess that's a wrap. Just a couple things before I let you go. Please try to go out and do something nice for somebody today. Just a smile or a wave or hello. Give somebody a call maybe that maybe doesn't have a lot of friends. Just give them a call. Check in on them. Let you know you're thinking about them. It might make their day. And just, do something nice for somebody today. To a human, for an animal. It's good karma, right? It couldn't hurt. And maybe one day when you need it, somebody will do it for you as well. And then also, if you don't mind, before you click out of here, if you could just take a half a second, hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the podcast. If you didn't, then don't, or hit the thumbs down button. Totally up to you. But if you did find it valuable or interesting, I would appreciate it if you could hit before we get out of here. All right. Well, that's that. That's a wrap. Oh, Kamal says, Greg, quick question. If you have time, that Roku trigger, did it have enough sideways motion? Oh, look at Roku at the end of the day. Well, this, it's a little subjective. And the real answer, in my honest opinion, is no. Look, we came down into the value zone. We went sideways one day. We had the breakout to the downside and reversal back up. Technically, there was only one day sideways. But when you have a reversal down and right back up, I almost look at these as two sideways, but technically no. But on the bright side, it really only had one day sideways, then went down, then went back up. But on the bright side, it did go under the 1 ATR channel and then close back above it. The reason I didn't take this trade, I didn't like this guy here. It was a little close to the entry for me to be comfortable. That's really the only reason I didn't take it. Well, and that we didn't really have a lot of sideways motion. Although this could be forgiven with one sideways down and reversal, but this skyscraper to the downside is what concerned me the most. But Quad and Kamal still have this, right? I believe you do. Slightly underwater, but nice recovery. To the bright side, though, I do like how we rejected the 1 ATR channel and the 100 yesterday. Today we rejected the 1 ATR channel and the 100 as well. So that's good. And technically, it formed a higher low V1. Here's day one, day two washed out day one and closed above day one's close. Like, I don't think it washed it out by a quarter ATR. but technically it is a higher low V1, so better than nothing. What happened with Etsy? Okay, I think that's right where Kamal bought it. Quad's still in. Kamal, are you still in Etsy, or was that a day trade for you? I mean, I know it was a day trade, but I don't know if you kept it or not. Looks like it closed right where you bought it, if I believe. All right. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you coming. Really, I do. Have a good rest of your day. Go out, be good, right? Be good, be safe, and hope to see you tomorrow. Thanks again. Bye-bye now. Oh, Kamal's in Etsy. Okay, got it. All right. Take care now. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.